Hey everybody, it's Steve Owens, one of the tournament directors this weekend for the Georgia and South Carolina Bass Nation recruiting event. For Georgia Bass Nation, this is the second event of our 2023 season. We're following up the February Lake Seminole event. So, what you're fishing for this year in 2023 is not only your place in our state championship, which will be held again in November on Lake Seminole. Lake Seminole fish is really good that time of year. We added an event or two this year to spread the season out a little bit longer to get some of the summertime months in there. That way, there's not a 5 or 6 month pause between our last event and our state championship, which we're really excited to be back in Bainbridge on Lake Seminole. Uh, Something else that you get this year again, Joseph Gayton was our 2023 Angler of the Year. That was his best three events. This season, your best three events are going to calculate for the same award from Carl Black Chevrolet, Kennesaw, Georgia. You'll get $1,000 cash. Grateful to have them back on board again this year. We couldn't do all of the nice trophies, prizes, and checks that we get to be able to give to you all as mementos and awards if it weren't, for the sponsors that we get from sponsorship support we get from Carl Black, Dugout Bait and Tackle, Dakota Lithium, Newport Vessels, Spro. You look on down the list of our banners, and we've got a lot of companies that are invested in the kayak sport, kayak world. We've got an Orion cooler we're going to give away again this year. Each event, we've got high dollar swim baits from Choked Bait Company. We get kayak cushion awards. Something new this season we're excited about is we're partnered, as you can see with my shirt, um, Old Town Fishing. Old Town Fishing has given us $2,500 to spread out over the season. And what we chose to do is we're going to back up to the Lake Seminole event and award $250 to a random angler that fished the event. So going forward, to win this $250, you have to be at check-in on Saturday, and we'll just do a random number generator like we do with all the other prizes, and someone's going to take home $250 cash from Old Town Fishing. And at the championship, we've got $1,250 left over that we're going to spread out amongst the field, and somebody will take home an Old Town Sportsman 120 PDL. So it's pretty good kayak. Excited to be able to put that in the hands of you guys. So we thank Old Town for the support that they're giving there. And what else you fish for is the grand thing of it all. As I mentioned, is the state championship. So from each event, the top 15 from the standings will make it to our state championship. And then, as the Angler of the Year points are awarded, we don't have a state dues here in Georgia. So after thinking and conversing with a lot of people, if you're a member of North Carolina Bass Nation and you fish a Georgia Bass Nation event, you are a Bass Nation member. So you do get the Angler of the Year points as well there. So you're not only competing head to head for the dollars, you're competing head to head for the points as well. And that's the fair and equitable way to do it, since we don't have a state dues to separate everything. And we won't have a state dues unless we're just absolutely forced to, because that's my job, is to try to raise what we do have in our community and in our state, which I'm proud to be able to do that. So the specifics of this event this weekend, it's a one-day tournament. We're running alongside the Queen City Kayak Club in the Southern Division, I think is what they call it. Forgive me for that, but it's a $60 tournament, I think, 60 or 65. Man powered only though, so be cautious of that. If that's something that is a deal breaker for you, don't want you to register and then find that out later and you not be able to use your motor. So, but that's an amazing club. It's one of the strongest clubs in the country. They actually got to branch out this year and do the regions as I mentioned. So, good job to Vinny and all those guys there. But this event specifically, as I mentioned, is a recruiting event that we have done. This is the second year now with the South Carolina Club. South Carolina Club is growing as well. They have a really good schedule. So if you're living in close proximity to a good drive with them, check out the rest of their schedule this year. Reach out to Zach Boyer and those guys, and they'll help you out there. So with this recruiting event, there's no Bass Nation dues, which is $30 per year. That's just to fish this event, though. So, if you're wanting to qualify for the things that are associated with it, you need to make sure you contact us and we'll get your registration process started. So, this is the captain's meeting for it. The headquarters for Saturday's check in is the Hilton Garden Inn It's at 115 Destination Boulevard, and that's the same location as the registration for the Bassmaster Kayak Series. So we encourage you to just double check everything. You know, Georgia, South Carolina has a reciprocating fishing license, so check that out. And from there, we're a catchboard only tournament. The entry fee is $60, which it includes a Sniper Marine Big Bass side pot. We were a 5 fish limit with a 12-inch minimum. Your identifier code, if you're fishing the Bassmaster and the recruiting event, your Bassmaster ID is your tournament tag for the weekend or for the Saturday portion of the Georgia and South Carolina Bass Nation Series event. So that's all you need there. If you're not fishing the Bassmaster and you're only fishing the Georgia South Carolina event, there's an identifier code that will be released Friday evening. It'll be a 3-digit code, and you'll need to write that on your hand, another identifier card of some sort, but it has to be visible in the picture so that we can tell that it's your 3-digit code. If it's sunny outside, for some of you that may be new, if you put that code on your hand and you apply sunscreen or wear gloves or a long sleeve shirt like this one, be really careful because that can slide over and cover your identifier tag, or it can smear off and your fish will be disqualified for that. So today at Friday, 4 p.m., practice closes. Just like for the Bassmaster guys, this information has been on Tourney X since we put it up a long time ago. 7 p.m. ish. I may open it up a little bit earlier, but that'll be when the identifier is released. It'll be on your Tourney X app, and you'll get an email in it with it as well. So Saturday fishing is just like the Bassmaster Kayak Series, and we do want to let everyone know that there is a Georgia high school tournament going on. I think they're coming out of Tugaloo, the Tugaloo area. So if you're fishing in that area, be extra careful there. I think it's a 250 boat tournament. And like anything else in life, there's people that are good boat drivers and there are people who aren't very good boat drivers. So make sure you take care of yourself. Launch time is 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Lines in is at 7 a.m. Lines out is at 3 p.m. Last fish submission is at 3:30 p.m. And you have to be at check-in at the Hilton Garden Inn at 4:30 p.m. When you come into the Hilton Garden Drive, if you'll split to the right, there's a large parking lot there, and that'll be the entrance on the side there that you come in to make it upstairs to see us. It'll be easy to find. We'll have Old Town banners, Bassmaster banners up for you. If you're launching in the morning time before safe light, you have to have a 360 white light on. PFD has to be on. And then if you have a motor, you have to have navigation lights as well. If you're launching before safe light and you don't have any of those things, then you can't launch. You have to contact me if you're uncertain about safe light, and I'll let you know. If you don't have those things and you have a motor, you can keep your motor stowed. Go ahead and launch, but you can't use your motor. But you have to have a 360 light if you're man powered with your legs or paddle. And that's it there on your launches and boundary. It's the entire lake of the South Carolina and Georgia waters. There's a ramp list that's been available. We're using the same ramp list for the Georgia and South Carolina Bass Nation Series as we are the Bassmaster event as well. That's just the fairest and easiest way to keep it simple. This should be the only one that we have a ramp list provided for this year. Don't know if going forward we may switch to that, but as of right now, this event, you do have the Google Maps list link provided in an email to you. There's been some ramp changes. There's only been 3 that were taken off the list, I believe, that were found to be private now due to new ownership and things like that. It's your job to cover your fishing license wherever you're fishing. So we can spot check those kinds of things, but it's not something that we do, mandatory where we're going to check every single person's license. It's just so, but above all else, be safe. Reach out if you have any questions. I think that about covers everything. So be safe. Give me a shout if you got any questions. Thank you all.